She opened the Quran last Ramadan. She made a quiet promise to herself. 1 year, that's all I need to memorize it. Then the year passed, and the Quran went back on the shelf, still closed. Today, I want to tell you her story, how she tried again, without a teacher, without a class, just her and the Quran. And through her story, I will show you the exact month-by-month plan that helped her finish in 1 year. If you have ever made this same promise to yourself, this one is for you. Her name doesn't matter. Maybe she has your name. Maybe she has your exact life. A job, a family, a phone full of notifications, and a Quran sitting somewhere quiet in the house. It was a Tuesday night, nothing special. The dishes were done, the kids were asleep, or maybe there were no kids yet, just tiredness from a long day. She sat on the edge of her bed, and her eyes fell on the Quran on her shelf. She hadn't touched it in 11 days. She counted. 11 days. And something inside her whispered, quietly, almost too quiet to hear, "You're never going to do this." She thought about the girls online, the ones who post videos reciting perfectly, page after page, smiling, confident. She thought about the women at the masjid who already knew half the Quran by heart. She thought, they must have started young. They must have a gift I don't have. She never said this out loud to anyone. Not to her mother, not to her closest friend. Because saying it out loud would mean admitting it, that somewhere deep inside, she believed the Quran was for other people, for the disciplined ones, the chosen ones, not for a tired woman who forgets her own alarm most mornings. She told herself she would start when things calmed down. But things never calmed down. There was always a reason, a deadline, a headache, a day that ran too long, and every time she saw the Quran on that shelf, it didn't feel like an invitation anymore. It felt like a reminder of everything she hadn't done. That night, she picked up the Quran, not to read it, just to hold it. And she started crying, quietly, the kind of crying you do when no one else is in the room, and you don't even fully understand why. She thought about all the years that had passed. She thought about every Ramadan she promised herself she would change, and every year she stayed the same. She thought, maybe I am just someone who is not meant for this. Maybe some people are chosen to carry the Quran in their hearts, and I am not one of them. She held the book against her chest, like it was the only thing left she hadn't completely given up on, and in the silence of that room, she asked herself the question she had been avoiding for years. What if I try, really try, and I still fail? That fear was heavier than anything, heavier than the 12 months ahead of her, heavier than any page she hadn't yet memorized, and in that heaviness, something came to her mind, something she had heard once, maybe from her mother, maybe from a khutbah years ago, half forgotten until now. The Prophet ﷺ said that the one who recites the Quran and is skilled in it will be with the noble, obedient angels, and the one who recites it while struggling, while it is difficult for them, will have two rewards, not 0, not failure, 2. She sat with that for a long moment. She had always believed that struggling meant she was doing it wrong, but this was telling her that struggling was never a sign of failure. It was a sign that Allah was watching her effort, not her perfection. Something small shifted in her chest, not a huge change, not tears of joy, not a sudden wave of confidence, just a small, quiet feeling, like someone had gently placed a hand on her shoulder and said, "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin." She opened the Quran that night to Surat al-Fatiha, not because she had a plan yet, just because it was the only page she already knew by heart, and reciting it that night felt like coming home to something she had left a long time ago. Day number 1. The next morning, she didn't wake up and memorize 10 pages. She woke up and memorized 3 lines. 3 small lines from Surah An-Nas, the last surah in the Quran, one of the shortest. She said them slowly, out loud, 5 times. Then she repeated them after Fajr, then once more before she left for work. That was it. That was day 1. It felt almost too small to matter. But she reminded herself, the Prophet ﷺ loved actions that were small and consistent, even if the amount was little. Week number 1. By the end of the first week, she had memorized the last 4 short surahs, An-Nas, Al-Falaq, Al-Ikhlas, and Al-Masad. She recited them in every prayer that week, on purpose, so her memory and her worship became the same act. She noticed something. When she recited what she had memorized inside her prayer, it didn't feel like homework anymore. It felt like she was actually speaking to Allah with her own heart, not just her tongue. She learned her first real lesson without a teacher. Memorization sticks best when it is lived, not just repeated. Reciting it in Salah 5 times a day did more than an hour of silent repetition ever could. Month number 1. By the end of the first month, she had moved through Juz Amma, the shortest surahs, the ones every beginner starts with. She built a simple rhythm for herself, new lines in the morning after Fajr, when her mind was quiet and the house was still asleep, review in the evening, right before bed, when the day had settled down. She used her phone, not to scroll, but to record her own voice reciting, and she listened to herself on the walk to work. She didn't need a teacher standing beside her. She needed repetition, and a little bit of structure, and mercy toward herself on the days she missed. Because there were days she missed. Of course there were, but she stopped punishing herself for the missed days and started simply returning the next day. She realized this, slowly. Allah does not love the one who is perfect. He loves the one who returns. Month number 3. By month 3, something had changed in the way she saw herself. She was no longer the woman who wants to memorize Quran one day. She had become a woman who did it, that morning, before the sun even rose. She had moved into longer surahs now. Al-Mulk, Yasin, Ar-Rahman, the ones with rhythm and repetition built into the words themselves, almost as if Allah made them easier to hold on to for people exactly like her. She learned to memorize in small chunks, 3 to 5 ayat at a time, repeated 10, 20 times, until the words stopped feeling foreign and started feeling like her own breath. She still forgot things. Some mornings she opened her mouth to recite and nothing came, but she no longer saw that as proof that she wasn't capable. She saw it as a normal part of a long journey, the kind every person who ever memorized the Quran had walked through before her. Month number 6. Halfway through the year, she looked back at the woman from that Tuesday night, the one crying with the Quran held against her chest, and she almost didn't recognize her. Not because everything had become easy, it hadn't, but because she was no longer afraid of the book on her shelf. It wasn't a symbol of failure anymore. It had become the most familiar voice in her life. By now, she had built real review cycles. She didn't just move forward. She circled back weekly to everything she had memorized before because she had learned the hardest truth of memorizing alone. It is not the memorizing that is difficult. It is the keeping. So she treated review as sacred as learning something new. Month number 9. By month 9, she had entered longer surahs, the ones that once felt impossible to her, Al-Kahf, parts of Al-Baqarah. Some weeks were heavier than others. Some weeks life pulled her away completely, and she came back feeling like she had lost ground, but she never fully stopped. Even on her hardest weeks, she held on to at least her 5 daily prayers with whatever she already knew, because she understood now. Showing up small is still showing up. She also began to notice something beautiful. The Quran had started shaping the way she spoke to herself. When she felt anxious, an ayah would surface in her mind on its own. When she felt like giving up on something in her life, a surah she had memorized would gently remind her that ease comes after hardship. The Quran wasn't just something she was memorizing anymore, it had begun memorizing her. Month number 12. And then 1 year later, on a night that felt just as ordinary as that first Tuesday, she sat with her Quran again. Not holding it in tears this time, holding it in something quieter, a soft, steady gratitude. She had not become perfect. She still forgot lines sometimes. She still needed her review days. But she had done what she once believed only other people could do. She had shown up page after page, month after month, without a teacher, carried only by consistency, by mercy toward herself, and by a prophet's promise that even the struggle would be counted. So let me ask you the same question she once asked herself in the quiet of her room. The Quran on your shelf, is it a reminder of what you haven't done, or could it become the beginning of who you're about to become? That night, she made a promise not to finish quickly, not to be perfect, just to return tomorrow, even with 3 small lines. And maybe tonight that can be your promise too.